Hi everyone, welcome. Let's wait for people to join. Okay, hi everyone, welcome. So it's the big game today, India versus New Zealand. So we thought we'll do a quick live catch up with everyone, do a quick preview of the match. Um, I think two unbeaten teams going head to head, so something has to give today. It's going to be a very interesting game. I think in terms of qualifying, these two do look like they'll be in the top four in the end. So now it's this game sort of comes down to more about bragging rights, and this game will go a long way in defining who finishes where, and based on the positions, you'll have matchups for the semis. So right. So again, a very interesting matchup. This will go a long way in defining what do what will the teams look like, what would the positions look like. I'm sorry, and who will face who in the semis. I think if we talk of the semis in the top four, I think obviously India and New Zealand do look pretty dead on for qualifying into the top four. Maybe we'll finish top two. This game could define who finishes first or second. Third and fourth, I think, is still pretty much up for grabs in terms of you have teams like now Australia's made a comeback, winning their last two. You still have England in the mix. You still have Pakistan. You obviously have South Africa, who demolished England last night. So I think pretty interesting matchups, and there's a lot of potential on who could finish third or fourth. So it will go down to the wire, and a lot could be defined by the net run rate as well. Right. So let's jump into the game. I think the toss has happened. I have the game on with me right now. So India has won the toss, and uh, no surprises, they've decided to field first. Obviously, first given the pitch, knowing what the conditions look like. Obviously, I think it'll be a good ground to chase on. And other than that, I think India's strength does lie in chasing. But what is interesting is now so far these teams have sort of almost been neck to neck. If you look at both the teams, the top orders are currently firing. For India, you have Rohit and even Shubman who's in form. You have Virat, and then you have KL, and then you have Shreyas. And so the four, top five are really in good nick for India, obviously. And if you talk about New Zealand, for New Zealand, you obviously have Devon Conway, who is killing it at the moment, and then you have Rachin Ravindran, you have Will Young, Daryl Mitchell, and Tom Latham. All these guys look solid. So I think they're very secure in that department, both the teams. And then when you look at someone like you go to your bowlers, so you have Bumrah and Siraj, and now Shami who's in the back. We'll talk lineups in just a second. They're all firing, and then you have spinners for India. They're also firing. You have Jaddu, Kuldeep, all taking very crucial wickets. So that's same goes for New Zealand. I think Mitchell Satner is on fire. Trent Bolt is looking in good form. So it will be a very interesting game. They're almost neck to neck in terms of how they're competing and how they're looking form at the moment. Let's talk lineups. I think there's no changes for New Zealand at the moment. I think they're pretty much the same. You have Conway, Young, Rachin Ravindra, Mitchell, Tom Latham, Glenn Phillips, Mark Chapman, Mitchell Satner, Matt Henry, Lockie Ferguson, and Trent Bolt. Right. So there's no surprises here. India, obviously, I think now Hardik Pandya is out. He was injured, so we knew he won't be a part of the squad for this game against New Zealand. So the changes are Sky is in. Uh, that's one big change I think in the batting department, and then you have Shami coming in for Shardul. So no surprise that I think it's a Shami could have been very well introduced to the World Cup. I think Bangladesh was a perfect game to introduce him, sort of ease him in before a big game. He's coming in right into the mix. He hasn't played any World Cup games before this, so he is coming straight into it with the first game now against New Zealand. I think a big crucial game. So it's a bit of pressure on him, but I think it's the right move in terms of now. Obviously, the missing out. India's missing out on the batting and bowling of both of Pandya. So what they've done, gone ahead now, is bolstered their batting with Sky and taken out sort of a part-time all-rounder, I would say, in Shardul to a full-time bowler in Siraj because to Shami because now your overs will have to be divided. I think earlier Shardul and Hardik could take overs between them, maybe bowl five each or four or six, depending on what's the condition. And then you have spinners in Kuldeep and Jaddu also covering the 50 overs. But now you have a full time bowler in Shami who can take crucial wickets. So I think no surprises there and a sane move, I would say, by India to go with this kind of a selection. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the chat. Right. So those are the lineups. I think previous matches, both teams again unbeaten 4-4 for both these teams in the World Cup. So something has to give in today. One has got to lose. So it'll be interesting to see how this match shapes up. India, their last match against Bangladesh, I think again such a strong performance. Uh, Restricted Bangladesh came up with a respectable score, a respectable. They gave India a respectable target, but I think India again just too strong for them. I think Rohit in the last game started out so strongly, and even Gill, even though was a bit conservative, Rohit just came out of the gate just firing all cylinders. And then you had once Rohit got out, then you had Kohli just steadying the ship in a way and got a well-deserved 100. So I think uh, uh, India didn't break a sweat chasing that target. Last game for New Zealand was against Afghanistan. Afghanistan beat England in the last game, so it was a bit dicey, how maybe they could pull off an upset against even New Zealand, but I don't think um, uh, Afghanistan was no match for New Zealand. So I think again a pretty straightforward game. So the momentum is there for both the teams. I think they're looking strong. They're looking like they're in form, and these two could probably be the two teams that go on to compete in the World Cup final, maybe. So maybe this could be a precursor for us. On maybe we're looking at a trial match or a warm up game for the World Cup final. Who knows? Right. I think we've discussed the lineups already. Then, if you look at the stats currently between these two teams, Rohit Sharma has the most runs. He's first at 265. Then you have Virat, Devon Conway. Virat is a 259. Devon is a 249. And if you look at the most wickets, you have Mitchell Santner at 11, who will be so crucial for New Zealand in this game. And then you have Jasprit at 10, and followed by Matt Henry at 9. So these two teams have been at the top of these stat lines. Let's talk quickly about the pitch. So I think the pitch here in Himachal is very helpful to the batters. So I think pacers may enjoy some seam and swing movement here, which can create some problems for the batters, while they can play their shots freely after spending a few balls on the ground. So New Zealand will have to really pace their innings if they have to put up a worthy target for a chase. India is a strong chasing team, so you have to give them a very respectable total that way. Just a sec, right? So let's look at the fantasy teams. If you went to our Instagram story, I think if you go through the um, go through our Instagram stories, I did put up two teams. which I felt um, sort of could balance out in terms of what uh, covers both kinds of bases. Two teams that give good balance. So if you're looking to maximize your chances of winning uh, maximum cash prizes, so I think maybe you could look at two teams or more than two teams to enter into the contest. The first prize for this one is 3,000 USD. So there's big cash prizes to be won in this one. If you look at the first team that I put out, that is Team A. So I went with Mitchell Santner as captain and then Rohit Sharma as vice captain, both again in good form. Santner with the ball mostly, but he can come in as an all-rounder and really put up performance with the bat as well if needed. Then you have Rohit Sharma, who is in fine form, and I think he is the top scorer of the World Cup currently. And then you have the others I went with were Jasprit and Rachana Ravindran. Jasprit again great form. Rachana Ravindran again decent form. I think he hit a century against South Africa. But if he starts off well, I think Kane Williamson is not in. You have uh, Rachin at three currently, so I think he'll be crucial to how to how New Zealand pace their innings. And then for the last two, I went with Kuldeep with 10 carats, and since I had run out of credits, so I went with Mohammad Shami with zero credits, which I suspected he will play. So I think he's starting now, so that's a good sign. Team B, I went slightly different. I went Shubman Gill based on for my as my captain based on his form in the last game and how he batted. I think he batted very maturely, so I think he was trying to put up a big score for himself just to give himself that bit of a confidence. And then I went with Devon Conway as my vice captain. I really didn't want to miss out on Rohit Sharma because I think he currently looks like he's in great form. So I went with Rohit Sharma and then Matt Henry, Kuldeep Yadav, and Jadeja. So that's 100 credits. Let me know what you think of those teams. Now, if you are looking at to captains for your fantasy teams and for your gully cricket teams, you have Rohit Sharma. You can definitely go for him. I think you won't go. Uh, just a sec. So if you're looking at captains for your fantasy teams, you can't go a lot of wrong with Rohit Sharma. He I think has looked in a whole different form altogether for this one. I think he just a sec. Yeah, I think he looks like he's in great form. So you can definitely go with Rohit Sharma if you feel like. And then there's so many other contenders. There's Devon Conway. Uh, he looks like uh, again in very good form as an opener. I think his IPL experience is coming in handy for him at the moment, and he has about 250 runs in the four matches in the World Cup so far. So that's that. And if you're looking at a bowler, I think maybe you could go with either with Trent Bolt or Jasprit, both again in fine form, leading bowlers for their countries, and they could pick up some big wickets towards the start and definitely towards the death overs. So these are two bowlers that you could target for your. Um, these are two bowlers that you could definitely target for your fantasy teams as captains. Then any other topics, I think you shouldn't miss out on Mitchell Santner at any cost. I think 20 carats is a reasonable price for someone of his caliber. He's the highest wicket taker currently and can contribute with the bat as well. So you shouldn't miss out on an all-rounder like that. And then you have, like I said, Jasprit. So, and then if you want to go for higher carats, maybe you look at Virat as well. Virat scored a century last game. It will be interesting to see against uh, how he comes up against New Zealand bowlers this time out. And if you're looking for some budget pick, someone like I said, Rachan Ravindran, or someone like Matt Henry, or someone like KL, I think these three could be some great budget picks, right? So I think that's all we have for today. Hope you enjoy the game. I think it's going to be one hell of a game. Sounds very interesting. Sounds very competitive. Lots of stake here. So last, I think 4 minutes for you guys. You guys can build your teams before the deadline. Good luck and hope you win a lot of cash prizes. See you for the next one.